So when you were writing it, I mean, you were specifically thinking, okay, I've got to tell a story, but you're also saying, but this story has to tell larger truths about America. I mean, is that a tricky balance to strike?
It is, because you never want to be so overt with anything that you're making an issues movie or a type of a statement, because really, most importantly, I wanted these to be about real flesh and blood humans that are flawed and that are complex, and that we as an audience can see a little bit of ourselves in them. I mean, clearly, unless you've been to Fallujah, you have no idea what that is. Or unless you've worked in a steelworker, you have no idea what that is. But everybody in here has suffered loss and tragedy and pain, and having lost a sibling, and I know what that's like. Woody's character is based on someone who has, based on someone from personal experience. So you try to tell these things as truthfully as possible. And then when the actors are, I don't really like to rehearse much, so we do a lot of, as Casey just discussed, we do a lot of investigative text work, so that when Casey Affleck comes to a scene in which his brother says to him, "Let me see your hands," and he flips them on, "Let me see your hands," as brothers will do. And he goes through the scene and he says, "Why don't you come work at the mill, and why don't you work for a living?" Work for a living. That scene in the kitchen. And as a director, as you're sitting next to the lens and you see Casey Affleck and Christian Bale, two of the best actors of my generation, going toe-to-toe about something that's very real, it's as exhilarating as it gets. And you turn to your cameraman and you say, "God, I hope you got that." Because you can't, as Casey Affleck, who's as modest an actor as I know, and Christian is too, you don't plan those moments out sitting in your hotel room. That's truly living in the moment and being so connected to the character in the world that those things just happen. And as a director, you just try to make certain that they can take those kind of risks and not be afraid to fail and feel safe. And Casey crushed it.